Everyone kind of agrees that airport food has a bad reputation. It's overpriced, it's bland, and half the time you're just grabbing whatever sad sandwich or soggy salad you can find before your flight. But the truth is that not all airport food is terrible. And believe it or not, there are actually some really solid options hiding in plain sight. So today, we're going to break down 8 unexpected airport treats that might just change the way you think about eating before takeoff. We'll also be showing you the exact spots that locals in the know hit up, the places that airline crews swear by. Let's get into it. Oneflewsouth, Atlanta. All right, so we're starting at Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson, which, as you probably know, is the busiest airport in the world. It's the kind of place where stress is basically built into the ticket price. You're dealing with endless crowds, overpriced snacks, and that faint smell of barbecue that feels more like a trap than a treat. But if you know where to look, there are actually a few gems hidden in all that chaos. One of them is tucked away in Terminal E, around Gate 30 or so, with this simple little sign for a place called Oneflewsouth. It doesn't scream best meal of your trip, but trust me, this isn't your average airport food court stop. Most people go straight for the sushi, since that's what everyone raves about. But today, we're skipping that because there's something better, something you probably wouldn't expect to find in an airport. We're talking about the DuckConfitBánhMì. Yep, duck confit, in sandwich form at an airport. It runs about $18, which sounds steep until you think about the fact that a sad turkey wrap elsewhere in the terminal costs around $12. The duck is slow cooked in its own fat until it's ridiculously tender, then crisped just right so you get that perfect bite. They stack it on a fresh, crunchy baguette that actually tastes like it was baked today, not dragged out from the back of a freezer. Then you've got the pickled carrots and daikon giving it this bright, tangy crunch, the cilantro keeping it fresh, and a spicy, creamy aioli that basically pulls everything together. It's the kind of sandwich that feels way too good to be eaten under fluorescent lights, and honestly, it's big enough to keep you full until you land in LA. Sure, $18 for a sandwich downtown might sting, but in an airport where a water bottle is $4, this feels like a small win. Beecher's Handmade Cheese, Seattle. If you ever find yourself stuck on a layover at Seattle-Tacoma, consider yourself lucky because they have some of the best spots. The spot you're looking for is Beecher's Handmade Cheese, right in the central terminal past security near the sea gates. Honestly, you'll probably smell it before you see it. The warm, nutty, cheesy aroma cuts through that usual sterile airport vibe like a beacon. You'll pass by these massive vats where they're actually making the cheese right in front of you. And yeah, it's worth stopping to watch for a second before you jump in line. Now, there's a lot on the menu, but let's be real. If it's your first time, there's only one move: the world's best flagship mac and cheese. Forget everything you remember about the boxed stuff at home, because this is in another league entirely. For about $13.50, you get a generous portion of penne pasta drenched in this ridiculously creamy, melty cheese sauce. The magic comes from their flagship cheese, which is aged for over a year and has this nutty, rich depth of flavor, plus just enough Gruyere mixed in to give it that earthy balance. They finish it off in the oven so the top layer turns golden and crisp, giving you that perfect contrast between crunchy and gooey. Yeah, $13.50 for mac and cheese might sound like a lot, but think about it. You probably dropped $7 on a fancy coffee downstairs that disappeared in 10 minutes. This is an actual meal, filling enough to share, although once you taste it, you'll probably rethink that idea. And if you're in a rush, grab a lid and take it with you. TSA won't bat an eye at cheesy pasta, but fair warning, the smell is so good it might turn you into the most envied passenger on the plane. Shake Shack, New York, JFK, Terminal 4. Okay, I can already picture the food snobs rolling their eyes and saying, fast food doesn't count, that's cheating. But hear me out for a second. We're talking JFK's Terminal 4 here, and the Shake Shack there is an actual lifeline, especially since it's open 24/7 and always there when you need it. The best part is, this isn't one of those watered-down airport knockoffs. It's the real Shake Shack setup, same hormone and antibiotic-free Angus beef blend as the original Madison Square Park location, cooked the same way too. They smash the patty on the griddle so it gets that perfect crispy edge while staying juicy inside. Throw on some fresh lettuce, ripe tomato, and the famous shack sauce. Then tuck the whole thing into a Martin's potato roll that's so soft, it basically melts around the burger. Pair it with their ridiculously crunchy crinkle-cut fries and one of those thick, hand-spun chocolate shakes, and you've got the full experience. Yeah, it'll cost you about $17, which is pretty much the same as what you'd pay in the city, and honestly, for an airport where a sad, soggy burrito goes for $15, it actually feels like a win. ConcourseC, San Francisco. San Francisco is kind of a dream if you care about food, and thankfully, its airport actually remembers that. Next time you're wandering through the sleek, art-filled Terminal 2, keep an eye out for the bright blue sign that says ConcourseC. Yep, that Cat Cora, the Iron Chef herself. And this isn't just some celebrity name slapped on a generic cafe, it's actually a spot that feels true to her style, all fresh, vibrant, and healthy-ish. The thing you want to order here? The Korean BBQ chicken rice bowl. And trust me, this isn't your sad little airport rice bowl. $18 later, welcome to San Francisco, you get a massive, gorgeous bowl stacked with ingredients that are thoughtfully prepared. The base is fluffy jasmine rice, but the real star is the gochujang glazed chicken thighs. They grill it to order, so yeah, you might wait 10 minutes, but that means no rubbery microwave chicken here, just juicy, flavorful meat with the perfect char and glaze that hits that sweet, savory, slightly smoky note. To balance it out, there are piles of crisp, thinly sliced pickled cucumbers and sesame-scented spinach. Trying to dodge that post-flight bloat? This is basically your best bet. It's packed with fresh veggies and lean protein, with just enough carbs to keep you sane on a red-eye. It's clean, bright, and delicious, and it actually leaves you feeling energized instead of like you need a nap. Deep Blue Sushi, JFK Terminal 5. Back at JFK for a second round, but this time we're in JetBlue's home turf, Terminal 5. If you head above the main concourse chaos, you'll find Deep Blue Sushi, which honestly feels like it was airdropped straight from Tokyo. The place is calm, stylish, and blue-lit, with views of the tarmac that somehow make the terminal madness below feel miles away. It's like discovering a secret little escape where you can sip water, watch planes, and eat a spicy tuna roll for just $12. $12 in an airport. And it's actually good. The fish comes from the same supplier that supplies Nobu, so it's seriously fresh. The rice is seasoned just right with vinegar, not plain and gummy. The wasabi actually hits with that sharp, tear-inducing punch, and the soy sauce isn't some sad, watery thing. It's real. For $12, you're basically getting a legit sushi experience that could compete with some city spots. Honestly, some of the bites are so memorable that I still have soy sauce stains on old boarding passes just to prove it happened. Pappadeaux Seafood Kitchen, Houston. Everything's bigger in Texas, and apparently that includes flavor, especially if you're passing through George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston. If you've got a layover here, your mission is simple. Find Pappadeaux Seafood Kitchen. It's a lively, sprawling slice of Louisiana hospitality tucked into Concourse's C&E. The place is buzzing, probably jazz music in the background, and it somehow feels less like an airport and more like a party you accidentally wandered into? The dish to go for? Crawfish étouffée. For $16.95, you get a taste of Cajun country so authentic, it's almost like someone smuggled a suitcase full of dark roux and family recipes past TSA. Étouffée literally means smothered, and that's exactly what you get. Tender, sweet crawfish tails smothered in a rich, peppery, roux-based sauce that's been simmering forever to develop that deep, layered flavor. All of it sits on a mountain of fluffy white rice that soaks up every last drop of that incredible sauce. And here's the thing that makes it feel extra special. They bring you a side of warm, crusty French bread, free, in an airport. That's not a typo. For a couple of hours, instead of scrolling endlessly at your gate, you can sit at the bar, order your étouffée, put on a good playlist, and honestly feel like you're briefly on Bourbon Street rather than stuck in ConcourseC. Route down, Denver. Denver International Airport is a whole different vibe, and its standout spot, Route Down, really captures the city's farm-to-table, health-conscious energy. It's right in the center of ConcourseC and is an offshoot of one of Denver's favorite restaurants, keeping the same focus on locally sourced, organic, sustainable ingredients whenever possible. The space itself is a little oasis from the airport chaos, with a cool mid-century modern feel. While you can absolutely get a solid burger here, the dish that really steals the show is the roasted beet and goat cheese salad. For $15, you get a masterpiece that looks like the produce aisle threw a party. This is not sad, limp iceberg lettuce. We're talking tender candy stripe and deep red beets roasted to highlight their natural sweetness, tossed with peppery arugula, and sprinkled with crunchy candied pecans and tangy, creamy goat cheese. It's all pulled together with a bright, herbaceous lemon tarragon vinaigrette that makes every bite pop. Grab a canned paloma from their bar, and suddenly, you're basically having a gourmet Colorado picnic at Gate C39. The salad is huge, the goat cheese is generous, and best of all, you'll touch down at your destination feeling refreshed, virtuous, and like you balanced out every questionable snack from the flight. Ippudo Express, Tokyo Haneda. I've saved the best for last, the holy grail of airport eats. If you happen to be flying through Tokyo's Haneda Airport, you actually have a chance to eat ramen that rivals, and maybe even beats, some of the flagship shops in the city. Head to the international terminal, and you'll find Ippudo Express, dishing out bowls of their world-famous tonkotsu ramen. The move here is the Akamaru Classic, which will set you back about $13. And let me tell you, this is not just soup. It's basically edible art. The tonkotsu broth, the heart and soul of the dish, is a creamy, opaque pork bone elixir that's been simmering for nearly 20 hours, pulling every ounce of flavor and collagen from the bones. It's silky, rich, and unapologetically porky. The noodles are thin, firm, and made in-house, giving them just the right chew. And the Akamaru Classic gets a dollop of special miso paste and fragrant garlic oil that slowly melts into the soup, layering on savory depth. On top, you've got tender slices of chashu pork and a perfectly marinated soft-boiled egg with that molten jammy yolk. $13 in an airport. It's basically like finding a $50 bill in the pocket of a winter coat. You feel like you've hacked the system. And if you're an early bird, they open at 6 a.m., which means breakfast ramen is very much a thing. And starting a long travel day with a bowl, this good is something you'll remember forever. So, circling back to our original question, is airport food a ripoff? After 8 incredible meals in 8 different terminals around the world, the answer is a big, slurp-filled nope. It can absolutely be a ripoff if you settle for the obvious, easy option. But if you're willing to wander a little, explore past the first thing you see, and trust your instincts, airport food can actually be pretty amazing. If any of these meals just landed on your must-eat list, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells the algorithm to show this to other hungry, frustrated travelers who desperately need a break from sad, overpriced airport food. And I know I haven't covered every hidden gem out there, so if there's a spot you love that I missed, drop it in the comments. Thanks for watching.